Got a sore throat, dog allergies. Just went to Michael's to get some stuffed animals because I've found out that hanging around with the real ones, apparently I'm not tough enough to run with a crowd like that. I'm not tough enough to run with the real dogs. It's a tough decision to make because I love animals, but they don't love me. Which is weird because I had animals my entire life, and then in the last couple years, we had a dog and a cat that were both 15 years old and both had to get put down within the last couple of years, which was very sad. And I was never allergic to them. And I don't know if maybe their spirits are angry with me and they've cursed me with allergies now. Rex was like, "What the fuck, man? I thought you were my best friend. You put me down?" Well, guess what? I'm going to put down your ability to ever be around another dog. Any dog you put down is just like a jealous lover for the rest of your life. They're like, "I'll haunt you, motherfucker." Arf, arf. Cats don't give a shit. Cats are like, "Put me down, put everyone down. Just put the world is broken." Cats are world weary at the best of times. They're just like, "Yeah, no, what, sure, I guess. If it's easier for you, yeah, I'm only 2 years old, but honestly, I'm just sticking around because it seems like you need someone to hang out with. I'm good. I'm done." Pretty dark way to begin a podcast. I will cop to that. This was, do I need to start the podcast with putting down childhood pets? No, there's actually an argument that putting down childhood pets should never be in the podcast. Not me. It's not me making that argument. That's actually my lawyer. My lawyer, and not even for legal reasons. They're a fan of the podcast. His name is Steve, lawyer Steve. Which that's weird. Steve is actually his last name. Lawyer's his first name. But yeah, and it kind of just one of those things like Usain Bolt, Bolt Lightning. He was like, "Oh, my name's already Bolt. I'm going to fucking learn how to be really fast like a Bolt." And Lawyer Steve was like, "My name's Lawyer Steve. What am I going to become a dentist?" It's not going to work. That's not going to... You're going to go see a dentist named Lawyer Steve. The whole time, you're going to think he's about to serve you divorce papers. You're just back in the chair he's like, "How's the day going?" You're like, and he's like, "Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, how's the wife and kids?" "Yeah. My son, taxidermist Steve, and my daughter, clinical researcher Steve. They're children. They don't have occupations yet. But, we're hoping they'll be flag people for highway construction." Yeah. So my lawyer Steve, he's advised me against ever putting killing animals into comedy. Because I don't know why people seem to have some sort of aversion to you talking about your childhood best friend dying in your arms, which is what it is when you have to put down a pet. And I'm laughing because I already cried. It was 3 years ago. And it's not a funny story. I was just about to let me tell you the story. But why? For what reason would I tell you the story? So what happened was, no. Yeah. So Lawyer Steve, I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to name my kids occupations. They're going to be rocket scientist Birchall and nuclear physicist Birchall, and they're both going to work at McDonald's, which is that's you would think that means that I'm knocking people who work at McDonald's and I'm saying that their jobs are less important than nuclear physicists and rocket scientists. But let's remember that between nuclear physicists and rocket scientists and McDonald's employees. One of those groups provides us with billions of tasty cheeseburgers every year. Pretty good. Pretty good. The other gave us the atomic bomb, which is one of the worst scourges to ever hit our planet. So, really, I am naming my kid nuclear scientist Birchall and rocket scientist Birchall. Nuclear physicist Birchall? Yeah. And then encouraging them to work at McDonald's to teach them that you can overcome the circumstances of your birth. I'm also going to continue to have no money. That's going to be another circumstances of their birth that they're going to have to overcome, is that their father is destitute and not very capable of taking care of himself. So between being named after the perpetrators of the nuclear bomb and having just kind of a bit of a schlub of a father, it's only up from there for NF and RS. And I will make sure they never go by initials like that. I will not let them be C.S. Lewis. I had to cycle through a couple different. M. Night Shyamalan. What is M. Night Shyamalan? A lot of people don't realize this. His real name, Mayonnaise Night Shyamalan. That's just a little showbiz for you. A little showbiz inside the actor's studio. Which I do consider M. Night Shyamalan an actor. I don't know if you saw his role as Slap Chop Guy in Knock at the House, or Mel Gibson's wife's killer in Signs. But he's an actor. Or Christ-like savior figure in Lady in the Water. That is pretty cool that M. Night Shyamalan was like, there's a character in Lady in the Water. He is an inspiring writer. He writes a book that is so inspiring and beautiful that it inspires a new JFK. It inspires a new unifying world leader who's killed for following the ideas of this book. This man is truly a Jesus-like figure, this character in this movie. And the studio was like, that sounds amazing, M. Night Shyamalan. Who will be playing him? And he was like, me. Like, are we going to get like a good, capable actor to play this part? No, it'll be this guy. And they're like, but M. Night, you're not a very good actor. And he was like, yeah. I know. No, I know. That's a bummer. It is a bummer, but it is, unfortunately, it's all you got. You can come out here and say that you're going to have some other schmuck come in here and try and do what I can do, but I'm the only one who does what I do. He's kind of like Wolverine. He's like, I'm the only one who does what I do, and what I do isn't very nice. And they're like, act okayly? And they're like, yeah, it's not very nice. Not very nice to come in and ruin a movie, even if it's your own. I did love Knock at the Cabin Door, and I would say generally do enjoy M. Night Shyamalan's films. So if you're out there, M. Night, cast me. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great, M. Night, if you and I could work together in The Seventh Sense? That's the one where I can smell dead people. Which is not, it's not like most people can. I can just come in and be like, oh, Jesus Christ, it smells like something died in here. And I help the police solve crimes. Because that's actually a thing. I don't know if you guys know this. The police solve rate on murders. And you know what? Huge asterisks. This is something I saw on Instagram. Not very high. It's not great. If it's CSI is leading us to believe they're solving a lot more of these than they actually are. But the big reason why they are not solving a lot of these murders, though, is they walk into these murder scenes, they can't even find the body, and it's lying right there on the ground. But you can't use your eyes to find a body. You got to get me in. You got to get someone who can smell a dead body, and just anywhere by being in the same room as it. And I don't know how everyone else can't smell it, because they stink like a dead body, which is a pretty distinctive smell. I thought I smelled it today when I was in Safeway getting groceries, but it turns out it was actually just me because I haven't showered in 2 days. So I walked in and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, something. I'm looking around. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is a rat dead under one of these shelves? Hey, how about a little bit of cleanliness here in this store, eh, guys? It stinks like a dead body. Oh, that's me. Sorry. My bad, everybody. Where's the deodorant aisle? Over here? All righty. Thank you. All right. And then I just got like 14 pounds of red meat. And I'm going to let that go bad in my house just to cover up the smell of my unwashed form. Jeff Dahmer let a whole bunch of pork go bad in his apartment to cover up the smell of all the bodies he was trying to dissolve in a vat. Which, you know, didn't work. He was caught, not because of the smell, but still. And I do think, though, that is a good plan. I think getting a bunch of raw meat and just letting it go bad in your house, I think that's a really good way to avoid scrutiny. No one's ever going to know. Yeah, why would you? Here's a different plan. And this is if I was Jeff Dahmer's life coach, which if he did have one, they were not doing a great job. I mean, his goals were horrible, but he was achieving his goals. So, and what is a life coach for if not to help you reach your goals, no matter how macabre they are. But if I was his life coach, I would have said, hey, Jeff, so instead of adding more rank rotting meat smell to your apartment, how about less? Don't kill people and let them rot in your apartment. What do we think about that? And he said, how'd you like to come back to my apartment? And I was like, you're not going to trick me again, Jeff. I very narrowly got away from you. And he's like, yeah, but I got some new locks on the door, so if you want to come back. I'm like, no, Jeff. I will not be coming back to your apartment with you, no matter how many times you ask me. And he was like, I have the new Madden game. And I was like, God damn it, Jeff, I'll be there tonight. I had to fight my way out of that place. And he was a strong fella. But he did not count on how often I've been drugged. Mainly by me. Just for such an occasion. I'm like the prince. I saw The Princess Bride, and I saw how Wesley took a little bit of, his own drugs. What? Drug? No, poison. It was poison. That would be a weird for if in The Princess Bride, Wesley was like, if it was just a contest between like who had to do more high-powered hallucinogens, and Wesley was like, no, I went to Woodstock, man. Like I am good. I'm going to put you under the table and into the astral plane. And the other guy was like, incessantly? Indubitably? Impossible? Inconceivable. Inconceivable! It took me a second. But you know, it didn't take me a second. This podcast took me 14 and a half minutes. You know what that is? That's 30 seconds shy of where I need to be. So, oh my God, what am I going to do with that time? I'm scared. What if I can't fill another 30 seconds? What if I never get out of Jeff's apartment? Find out next time on Joel Show.